Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Fanny Swan Dungane, and this is the Coffee Minute, where we talk all things tax and drink lots of coffee in gigantic cups. Please do not judge, but I do hope you have your coffee cup, and let's chat tax. So in last week's video, I said that I would be talking through an income tax return and what to do on e-filing when you're submitting your return. So in the process of recording that video, I discovered that there's a lot of post-production work. Yes, I do post-production, guys. There's a lot of post-production editing that I need to do to blur out the personal information of the tax return that I used in the example. So that's taking quite a bit of time, and I want to make sure that it's perfect and that there's nobody's personal information that's out there on the internet of my doing. So let's do that next week. This week, let's talk about some of the documents that you would need to have on hand when you submit your tax return. So sometimes SARS will select an individual or a company for audit verification after the tax return has been submitted, and they will want a bunch of information. And the individuals that I've interacted with thus far, a lot of them seem to be very confused in terms of what information SARS is wanting and where a person might possibly get all of this information. So I'm here to break that down for you. Let's go. So an IRP5 is one of the first documents that you would need to have if you're employed, especially. So an IRP5 you get from your employer. It's basically a summary of your earnings for the tax year. Remember, a tax year starts on the 1st of March each year and it ends on the 28th of February the following year. So one of the things that will be noted on your IRP5 is for that period, for that 12-month period, how many months were you actually employed by X company. And it will say on your IRP5 that you're employed for 12 out of the 12 months or for 6 out of the 12 months or whatever the case is. And then it'll also list all of your income. So your salary income, any benefits that you have. So maybe if your company is contributing towards your medical aid, your retirement, any allowances, maybe you've got a travel allowance, everything will be detailed there. And as well as all of your employer related deductions such as medical aid and retirement annuities that go off that you would normally see on your payslip. So it's basically a summary of your 12 payslips for the period 1 March till 28 February. That is an IRP5 and you get it from your employer. And then another document that you might need is an IT3B. Yes, an IT3B. An IT3B, so a lot of us have gone into, what is this thing? Tax-free investments. So we've got tax-free investments that we've invested in. And so the bank or the financial institution where you hold your tax-free investment will send you a document called a tax certificate. And on the top of that tax certificate, you will note that it's written IT3B. And if you have any other kind of investments or interest earning investments like a 32-day notice account, or if on your just your personal bank account there's a savings portion that earns interest, if you keep money in there for a month or whatever period, anything that generates interest for you, you will get a tax certificate for, and that tax certificate is called an IT3B certificate. So you need that also to sort of align the interest income you've declared on your tax return together with the supporting document from the financial institution that provided you with that interest. And then moving over to the deduction side, some of the documents that you would need to support your deductions. I'll go through the obvious ones, and if you guys have any questions specific to your personal stuff, Like if you have something very specific to yourself, feel free to ask a question on the comment section. I'll also leave my WhatsApp number and email address, and you can email me and send me any questions that you have that are specifically directed to you. But some of the more common deductions that there are the medical aid. So your medical aid provider, be it Discovery, GEMS, what else? Your medical aid will provide you with a medical aid tax certificate. You also need to have that on hand when you submit. And the detail that will be on the medical aid tax certificate is firstly your name, and yeah, your ID number will be there. Not sure. Yeah, your ID number will be there, and it'll also detail by month how many dependents were on the medical aid. So if it was just you on your medical aid, it will have a bunch of ones. So it'll have the tax period March to February, and under each month it'll write 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 if it was just yourself. But if you had other people on your medical aid, say yourself, a partner, children, it'll note the number of people on the medical aid per month. And if, for example, you added someone during the course of the year, so say for the first 5 months in the year, it was just yourself. So it'll be 1 1 1 1 1, and then on the 6th month, it'll put the additional members. So on the 6th month, it will say 2 or 3 or whatever the case is. Same applies if you removed someone from your medical aid at some stage during the year. So it'll start off 2 2 2 2 2, and then it'll go down to, you get the drift. And then, so that you get from your medical aid. So you can call them or email them, and they'll send you through a tax certificate for the tax year. And then another document that you might have, very common, is a retirement annuity tax certificate that you get from the financial institute that provides your retirement annuities. So be it Momentum, Metropolitan, Old Mutual, wherever you get your retirement annuity, they will also provide you with a tax certificate at the end of each tax year that will detail your contributions. Oh, something else that I forgot on the medical aid is that the medical aid will also list the rand value of your contributions that were actually paid, as well as anything that was claimed from the medical aid but not paid. So maybe you ran out of funds during the year, but you actually made the claim, and then the medical aid rejected the claim, and then you ended up having to pay out of your own pocket. That amount will also be noted. But back to retirement annuity, so your contributions will also be on the retirement annuity, your contributions for the year, and that's the amount that goes onto the tax return. And then if, for example, you have a travel allowance from your employer, if you have a travel allowance, so on your IRP5 will be a travel allowance, and then you then can submit a travel logbook. So you'll be taxed on your travel allowance because it's an income, and then you can use the travel logbook to reduce the value of the tax that you are being taxed on. But I'll go through this in a separate video where I talk solely about travel allowances and the documents that you need for a travel logbook. But yeah, if you receive a travel allowance from your employer, you need to keep a detailed travel logbook that has your opening and closing odometer readings, as well as the business trips that you took on behalf of your employer using your vehicle. And then what else are some of the most common? Oh, if you made a donation to a registered public benefit organization, very important. So not just any donation. So not if you gave the guy at the robot 2 rand, no. It must be a registered public benefit organization. Then you can claim a donation deduction. But for that, again, you would need the document from the institution or the company or the organization to which you donated. And if they are a registered public benefit organization, they have absolutely no reason not to issue the certificate, because then you can use that to claim against your taxable income. And what else, guys? But ezinye wethu zizawuvela as we go through. So I'll do all the editing on the return, and I'll go through more detail on some of the documents that you need for each sort of section. And like I said, if you've got something specific, feel free to send me a WhatsApp, send me an email, call, whatever. I'm free, I'm open. I am the tax bunny. Cheerio, enjoy your coffee. Mine is cold now.